So this reading is very heavy in the feminine energy for me today. And I feel like it's very heart-centered, very heart chakra, love. Although I see a lot of purple in the cards here. I don't know if you guys are seeing that too. But let's start with the first card. So the first card is Babasana, which is number 8, and it is the moon and Neptune, which my moon happens to be in Neptune. And it's about trust. So this card talks a lot about self-love, heart retrieval. There's a lot of like gratitude, receptivity, compassion, which if you look around in here, we do have a lot of passion with the Queen of Wands, and we have the Empress, who is like the ultimate, receiver. This is somebody who understands how to receive, and we'll get back into the cards in a little bit. And we also have the Queen of Cups in here, and she's also very heart-centered energy. And there's a lot of deep, creative, feminine energy that we need to tap into. And then we also have Rose. So Rose is number 12, which if you look down there, we have the Hangman, who is 12 also, which goes into a 3 if you combine the numbers, and is right above the Empress, which is also a 3. So maybe 3 or 12 are numbers for you. So obviously, Rose is about love, Venus and the moon, union, bliss, unconditional love, merging with the other, whether that be the other side of you or feminine, masculine aspects of yourself, or in this aspect, maybe it really is about love. I don't know why I avoid that as much as I can, but there's a lot of goddess energy in this card also. And Aphrodite happens to be the ruler of Rose as far as the goddesses go. And it's also about allowing healing through past hurts and things like that. And I feel like with both of these cards, there's a big message about not allowing all those things from the past. And if you look down there, there's some cards that talk about that as well. We'll go back into that. But I feel like it's really about tapping into trusting that it's okay to love, trusting the spirit has your back, and it's okay to feel, it's okay to love, right? Okay, and so our next card is an angel oracle, crystal angel oracle, and it talks about owning your divine power. This talks about not falling into those codependent type attitudes and people pleasing. You have to kind of understand where self-preservation doesn't have to come with large ego. There's a saying I like, and I'm not sure who said it, but I heard it in different forms, where when you love unconditionally, you're looking at everyone from the same aspect as the divine. You see the divine in everyone else. We all go through certain things. And what that means is you don't have to take everything either. It's just you see people where they are, you understand that we're all trying to go through the same thing. But at the same time, you own your own divinity and you understand your worth. So, and I think that brings us into the Queen of Wands, which is the next card. The Queen of Wands in astrology is 20 degrees Aries, 20 degrees Pisces. So she is somebody who is very intuitive and very fiery. She's a strong leader, but she's very charismatic. And this is somebody who leads by example. She's not above helping the little person, right? This is not somebody with a really big ego. This is somebody who is confident, but in a way she cannot help but fully express herself. So I feel like this is where this energy is right now, whoever this is for. And if you know me, the first vertical row is our energy that we are in. And right underneath her, in the clarification type of card, I always put like a second row to kind of like feed into the energy a little bit, kind of see where we're at. We have the Ace of Cups. So the Ace of Cups can be all kinds of things. It can be new love. It can be a new beginning in your spiritual path. It can be a twist and a turn in a positive way, creatively, or again, in your love life. There's a lot of love in here, but love and the heart center speaks to so much. It's spirit and our individuality and our drive for life. If this is some type of relationship situation, take that as it is. In the second row, this is where I always talk about what we need to work on. And in here we have the Five of Swords. Five of Swords is about, this dude wins, but he wins and he loses some of his teammates, however you want to put that. I don't know if they're on a team. And then you have the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands rushes in without judgment a lot of times. He really doesn't take the time to think. He's kind of like literally the opposite of the Knight of Pentacles. He's somebody who comes in fast, either with a message or he is jumping the gun. So I feel like in this, we need to kind of look at those areas where we're super reactive, right? Where we kind of jump the gun, and in self-preservation, we might say something sharp or something nasty to kind of protect ourselves, when in the long run, all you're doing is creating more havoc. So we kind of need to work on that. And the third row, I always have that as kind of like resources, people around us, energy that we have, skills we have, resources we have, whatever we have that can kind of help us with this situation. And in this, we have the Hangman and we have the Empress. So the Hangman sometimes can be turning things around and kind of looking at it from a different situation, which I can see that being a way to help us through these rushed judgments, maybe slowing down, because he's slowed down. But the thing is about the Hangman, he's not put there by force. He is there because whether he's done it voluntarily, whether he's sacrificing in that way, or he's just chilling and taking a break, or for other purposes, he is taking a minute and really soaking the situation in. And this is also something that could be about trust. It's about divine trust, understanding that, it'll all work out, and you have to have faith in the process, right? And then that's another way you can kind of look at the Empress too. She's just chilling. She is to a point to where she just has to be herself, and she has this magnetic way about herself where the things just come to her. She's very magnetic. So whether this is you kind of have this ability. If we are in our Queen of Wands energy, we're kind of like that. People are kind of like, when they're in that energy, they're very magnetic. So maybe it's something like that, but we need to slow down a little bit. Or maybe this is somebody in your energy. Maybe this is somebody around you that you can kind of look at and say, well, you know what? Maybe I could be a little bit more like that. If this is a relationship issue, maybe this is understanding that this person that maybe is like this Empress, that maybe there's a reason they're that way. It's not something against you. It's just that's how they are, right? Sometimes, there's a little bit of envy when people have things that come to them easily. And we need to maybe incorporate that energy a little bit into ourselves. And my outcome cards are the Queen of Cups and the Nine of Cups, which the Queen of Cups is somebody who is just like the King of Cups. She's very emotionally mature, but in the same way, sometimes she's a little bit too emotional. But I feel like in this reading, this is a very positive ending because you have the Nine of Cups, which is satisfaction. And I do positive anyway, because that's what we're working for. But she's somebody who's very nurturing, somebody who's very intuitive. I feel like there's a very big spiritual aspect of this too, of not only if it is a relationship, but it could also be like a relationship in yourself, a creative endeavor, or this can definitely be something about allowing and relaxing and having faith in the process so your spiritual gifts can come in. I feel like that's a huge aspect of this too, if this isn't like a relationship thing, because it's all intertwined. You can play that into everything. So I feel like if we're working on this is really where we're going to be. We are going to be into that aspect of being in that space where we are satisfied, and we're not only are we courageous and gathering all these things and bringing things to us, but we know what to do with them. There's a huge chance for our gifts to come in. And so then we come to our second crystal angel oracle card, which is fluoride. So being your natural, beautiful self inside and out is really what this is all about, because that's when things come to you. That's when you attract these things. And if you look, she's holding two orbs, which I don't know if those are gems or if they are planets. But if you look, we have these two Moonology cards, and the first one is full moon in Aries, which I honestly really feel like this is an Aries reading. It could be Libra as well. Or you can have Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, because there's a lot of water in here too. But this card talks about there will be a fiery climax. So you can think of fiery as maybe real energetic, or maybe it's spicy, but but in the end, it's going to be good. I feel like this is really a passion. Fire is about passion. And if you go back into like ancient texts and things like that, they really talk about fire being the element of spirit. So I feel like this is going to be a big bang, but I feel like it's going to be in a good way. Big, passionate climax. So this is like something that is really going to kind of open your eyes and make you realize what you're worth, right? And then the last card we have is South Node. It is telling you to not let yourself be held back by your past, because I feel like that's why we get in those situations where, we're afraid to be ourselves, or we don't think we can receive. Do jump to conclusions. It's all about realizing authenticity and true self-love is really how you can get through these things. And there is a very passionate, whether it's a creative or spiritual beginning happening. It's beautiful. And I feel like it could be a love thing too, whether you're in a relationship and you are able to really get into the depths of it because you're realizing these things and you're really being yourself. How can you be loved fully if you're not being yourself to that person, right? And how can you love fully if you're not being yourself? So I feel like that's what this reading is about, and I hope it helps somebody. Please like and hit subscribe, and I will talk to you later.